Hello, gamers! Welcome to Games and Feelings, an advice show about playing games, being human, and dealing with the fact that those games will involve other humans. I'm your host and question keeper, Eric Silver, and the game I wish they would make a remake of is Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh, what a shout, Eric!
Yeah.
I love that game. Oh, Banjo-Kazooie.
Not only do I feel like I am Banjo-Kazooie and that I am a bear with a little bird on my back, that's just how I feel going through life, but I think that all of these N64 platformers need actual remakes because the camera makes it absolutely garbage to play those platformers. Like I need the polygons, I need infinitely more polygons so everything doesn't look spiky. And I just need to be able to jump while having a good camera. Like a Super Mario Odyssey style camera instead of just like the absolute garbage. Mario 64 too. I don't know why Mario 64 doesn't have like a good remake instead of just the port that they had in the most recent thing that came out for the Switch.
Interesting. I also have actually, is it a Nintendo game specifically? Let me just double check. It is a Nintendo game that is also, if you're going to ask me the question, I'm assuming you're going to ask me the question. I'm just out here skipping.
Oh, you're just hanging out. So. Oh, wait. Oh, is that perpetual guest Jasper Cartwright? Jasper Cartwright,
Hi.
What is a game you wish they would make a remake of?
Star Fox Adventures.
Ooh, that's the one where you get in the tank, right?
Dude, it is one with dinosaurs. You get tanks.
that
there
one.
Is all... Dude, Star Fox Adventures rules. You don't have enough scarabs. Oh my word, this game slaps so hard. I had a staff, which was my chosen fantasy weapon that I would always pick in like any fantasy. I had a cool staff. I got to whack nasty dinosaurs. There were some good dinosaurs. I was a fox in space with dinosaurs, and I had to collect scarab beetles to pay for things. Why? Who knows? Don't care. It was incredible. I love it. Please make a remake of Star Fox Adventures. God damn, I love that game.
It's possible. It was a GameCube game. So at least you're not in the weird Wii territory where you need to deal with all the motion controls.
Yeah, sure. That's very, very true. It was, what a game though. What a game. I played that game a lot and actively got to a point where I couldn't get any further because I just didn't know how to play because I wasn't old enough to figure it out. But carried on playing the game anyway. I just kind of ran around the same area, just killing the same things.
Well, now you have to play. Now there needs to be a remake so you can play it to the end.
Yeah, I have no idea what happens at the end of that game. All I know is I got to a certain point and then the guy went, "You don't have enough scarabs," and then I couldn't get through the door.
Okay, it is $30 on eBay right now, and I have a working GameCube, so I might just buy it and then play it for you.
Please, dude, I'll be there. Next time I'm in New York, we'll just binge that game. I reckon we can easily beat it in a weekend. Easily.
Oh, for sure. I'm sure.
Easily. That game has got to be like 5 hours long. Those discs were tiny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's no way it's long.
Jasper, you know that size of disc does not equal amount of...
No. Excuse me. It's just like a vinyl, okay? Everyone knows that, okay? The lines are just a little bit closer together, Eric.
It's the vine of game discs. Obviously,
it is the
it's gonna
vine
be
of
6
game
seconds.
discs, and it's tiny. So don't even come at me. I just want to say IGN gave this a 9 out of 10.
That's surprising because this is like it felt like the forgotten stepchild of Star Fox. Like they were trying to make Star Fox a real thing and take him out of the ship.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Star Fox Adventures is incredible. I'm telling you, it is an unbelievable game. I had the greatest time playing that game. Spyro stuff would also be up there, but I feel like we're probably still going to get some Spyro stuff, so I'm not sort of super worried about that. Whereas Star Fox does feel like he's been forgotten. Star Fox only exists now in, like, Brawl, like, or whatever it is.
Oh,
so
yeah. If there is any Spyro stuff, Amanda will tell me, so I will be on top of that.
Awesome. You'll be across that.
That's part of my beat. I got a guy.
That's on my beat. I love it.
Jasper, this is the first episode we've recorded since we recorded in person together in the UK.
We did. Twice.
Yes, twice. One in your house and one on a stage in Manchester.
Yes,
do you miss me looking deep into your eyes and eating Marmite while we record?
No, not at all, because let me tell you why. Marmite is disgusting, and seeing you eat it and come to the revelation that it's disgusting as you ate more of it was deeply uncomfortable.
It got saltier as I ate it.
I told you it gets worse. It's so bad, and it definitely gets worse. It definitely gets worse. It's, I think it's kind of like, you know how most foods, it will lose, like in your mind, it will lose flavor as you go, right? Because your mouth kind of like adjusts to that taste. So
That's what
like,
I thought.
Yeah, but it's like, that's why you pay the really expensive money for like the really expensive food, because they're like, they keep evolving in your palate and all of this. You know what I mean? You keep getting new flavors every time you bite it. Marmite is the only foodstuffs I know where it gets perpetually much worse. That you bite into it and you're like, okay, yeah. And then it turns into Flavor Town by the end, and the flavor is feces.
Yeah, it's salty feces.
Salted caramel feces.
Oh, no, that's worse. That's the worst thing someone said. I'm putting it on you. You have gotten the gross Babadook. Today, because we're doing this, and I don't know when this is going to come out because we're doing some traveling. So if any of you, when this comes out, if any of you are in San Francisco and are going to Big Bad Con, we are going to be there. So please come hang out with us while we're there. I don't know how many more episodes we are ahead or when this is coming out. So I think we should just do a lot of advice questions. Because we have a lot. People have asked some really interesting questions, and I think that we can like ruminate on them and have our time.
All right, I'm going to do quick fire today, Eric. You're going to see a whole new me that gives just short, concise answers.
No, we can still like fuck around and talk about whatever while we do it.
I'm going to fuck around, but I'm going to give short, concise, and useful advice. You watch me. I'm going to do it.
I like it.
Like, it would be a hard pivot away from what I normally do. So let's see.
I like what you do. That's why we do this podcast together. Unfortunately, I will not upgrade you from perpetual guest. You are not a co-host, so you really got to get on top of it. I have my reviews. I have this. I'm holding a clipboard and watching you, so you can if you can get elevated to co-host.
Eric said that until the Games and Feelings Patreon hits 5,000, he said until it hits 5,000, there's not a chance in hell. But he said after 5,000, I'll begin the deliberation process. Like he'll begin to think about the possibility, the idea of making me co-host. It's still a perpetual, like a not on every episode, but like most episodes or whatever, like a co-host. So 5,000 Patreon patrons. That's the goal now. If you could go and sign up, that'd be really helpful for me, and it would make a big difference to me and my family, especially as we are expecting a child. So it would be pretty good if my son comes into the world and can feel really proud of me because I'm the co-host of this show.
Jasper, that's the first time you've said this on this show, which is pretty funny.
You do. I honestly, I don't know what it is. You get the most unhinged version of me on this show. Like, I've still quite often literally the other day I played back the end of the episode where there was just a constant reference to me being like Mel Gibson, and then me at the end managing to convince you two that I was stepping down from 3BH and Mel Gibson was taking over.
I forgot you were doing that as a bit. I forgot it was happening as a bit, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're stepping down! That's crazy!"
Like what? What a scoop! Yeah. What a scoop for the show!
Reported right here. Yes, that was absolutely
Games and Feelings.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: we have some questions, and we also have some updates. So I think we'll swap back and forth between. But I'm going to start with one advice question here. This is from Fine. Keep your secrets. He, him. In character creation, I ask my players for a secret that their characters are keeping from the world. It can be big, small.
I already know where this is going and it annoys me, but carry on.
It can be big, small, personal, or apocalyptic, but it has to be significant to the character. This has helped to develop more backstory and personality for the PCs and gives me more personalized content I can put into the game and like torture my players with, obviously.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. That's the subtext there.
Yeah. I have a new player at my table who's pretty inexperienced with tabletop RPGs. They have great ideas for characters and engage with the game, but their backstories are always amorphous, conveniently changing to suit each new challenge, and they absolutely refuse to give me a secret about the character. I don't know if they have a player versus DM mindset and don't want to give me something I can use against them later, true, or they just don't know how to build a backstory. I don't want to leave them out when everyone else is getting personal plot points, but I don't have anything to go off of. What can I do?
Sit this player down and tell them that they have a responsibility to the shared storytelling that the whole table invests in, and that them currently bucking that trend is making it actively worse for everyone, including you as the DM, and this is frustrating and annoying. I can only imagine how frustrating it is when they happen to pull out a piece of their backstory that you haven't been sent or been told that just conveniently allows them to like have advantage on this thing they're about to do. That's just, in no universe does that make sense unless they were some sort of time wizard who got stuck in an infinite loop of possibilities and they're actually a 20th level Doctor Strange build or something. Like, it's just, so I think, look, you got to sit your player down. You got to say, listen, this is not a competition. You're not here to win. You're here to have fun. Please give me your backstory. It's helpful. And then you just live in that and everyone else will get their moments too, and you share it out in a lovely, open, shared way, not like this, because this is the wrong way to do that.
All right, I'm taking on my clipboard 4 out of 5 stars in concise.
Thank
Pretty
you.
informative. That's 3 out of 5.
Whoa, performative was 3 out of 5?
Informative.
Oh, I thought you said performative. I was like, you wait for the next question then. I'm gonna go for it.
Performative 5 out of 5.
Thank you.
Try hard 0 out of 5, unfortunately. Yep. I think that it's without the part about being inexperienced with tabletop RPGs, I would have thought that they're being very resistant and just like want to win. But I think that there's a very tricky balance of getting people to understand that this is both a game and a storytelling device at the same time. So it's like, if you don't write down what your character is, you are a background actor. You are a guy who dies early in an action movie, right?
Yep.
You need to make this character like you were reading in a book or watching in a movie. You need to tell me what it is so you can have plot points. Because the only thing you're doing is hurting yourself. I think everything you said about like hurting the collective is fine, but I think that if you say to them, you are doing a disservice to your own experience and for me to give you attention if you don't write down for me what your actual backstory is.
Yeah, and just like giving yourself and the DM the freedom to actually explore this character and to actually do something and accomplish something meaningful. Yeah, I think saying exactly what you just said there is like being like, hey, look, this is the only way that you're not going to be, this isn't going to be like a superfluous thing. I think the crux of it is for me is like trying to get them to realize that there's no winning in the game. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like they're coming into this. And I think, like you said, like balancing between winning a game or it being a game and being a storytelling device. It's like, I think right now they're like 100% in column A, which is like winning the game. And they need to be like 50-50, if not like ideally like 40-60. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're there to like beat your way through the things, but like 60% of this is like a good storytelling experience for all of those people involved. But I definitely get you. I don't think it's like malicious. It's just frustrating when you're like, but what do you mean you have a secret but you won't tell me? I'm the DM. Like the whole point is that I know everything.
Yes.
Like that's literally the point.
This has not happened to me before, but something comes out of nowhere. They tell me what's going on. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm doing the storytelling. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I might invite you to say something or to describe something, but like unless I do, stay in your lane, my friend. Like unless you want to be the DM, I'll happily, like I'm definitely at the point in my life where I'm like, hey, look, if you want to DM for me, you can DM for me. That is fine. Like I've DM'd enough. I'm good.
Yes.
But like, I think...
I didn't spend 5 hours this week prepping the session for you to say, actually, I know how to swim really well because I grew up with merfolk. I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. No, you just didn't, though. You just didn't. I have had an experience where a player turned around to me and said, I took an item. And I was like, cool, okay, what is the item? And they're like, I'm not going to tell you. And I was like, what? What do you mean you're not going to tell me? No, you have to tell me. And he went, no, I'm not going to tell you. And I went, okay, well, how about this? You can try and use it at some point, but then I'm just going to tell you, no, you don't have that. And he was like, okay. And I was like, okay, this is strange. And then we got into the thing, and he took like it was like an orb of disappearance or something. It basically casts like dimension door or something. No, banishment, sorry, like 3 times a day. And I was like, get the hell out of here. No. Like,
Absolutely not.
They were level 3. I was like, no, that's like a 4th level spell. You won't hit that until you're like level 9, and that's if you're like a wizard or something. Like, get out. No, you don't. I'm like, I literally described as like, I was like, okay, so you pull this orb out, you look down, you realize there's actually just like a round piece of glass that you were seriously overcharged for, and now you have less money than you actually thought you did because you massively overspent on this piece of crap that is not what the person told you it was. Like, and do you know what the crazy part is? This item that I don't know where they'd found it, but it was like the DC was like 19 for freaking banishment. I was like,
oh my God. I've spent so much time like doing this recorded and on stage where like you need to kind of keep it up because you're doing it for performance. That like if this happened to be in a home game, I would literally stop and I'd say, Jeremy, what the fuck are you talking about?
Listen here, Mr. Cobb, okay? I need you to straighten out, okay, sir? Because you don't have that, and you know you don't have that. You've played enough of this game, sir.
No, not your co-host Jeremy Cobb. This is a different
No,
Jeremy.
my co-host Jeremy Cobb. That's who we're talking about in this scenario. Yeah.
Be like, hey, Jeremy, it's 8:30 on a Tuesday. I have work in the morning. No, you fucking don't. This is stupid. Like,
I have a mortgage to pay, Jeremy. No, you don't. Okay, I have serious things to worry about in my life, and you having this ability should not be one of them.
There is such a trade-off of. I spent all the time prepping this game, and I know how to play it the best as the person who runs a tabletop RPG game. And in exchange, let me do funny voices for you. Like, let me tell you what happens next. That's the only thing I get from this. While you get to sit there and fucking watch me do things for 60% of the time. And eat snacks while I'm speaking and keep track of the canon. Like,
and actively rip into all of my NPCs, point out all the plot holes and all of the things that don't make sense.
Make fun of how bad my accents are while you're doing nothing and eating jujubes. Like, this is the one thing I need you to do. This is the contract. I have work in the morning. I gotta take the train, and it takes 45 minutes.
Please.
I think about that shit all the time. They're like, we are living in just the worst time, at least in the United States. Actually, no, similar in the UK because we have similar government structures in that you had Margaret Thatcher and we had Ronald Reagan. Like, the worst time to be a working class, someone in the working public, right? I'm not even talking working class. Anyone who has a job. And you're going to ruin my time of fancy free because you decided you don't want to come up with a secret? Come on. Come on.
And the worst part is, I think they have come up with a secret. They're just not telling you.
It's almost, I can't decide which is better because I'm looking at the question. It's either, so that's the type of person that they do, that you're saying. I think this player, they say explicitly in the question, they refuse to give me they refuse to give me a secret about the character and conveniently change their backstory to suit each new challenge.
That's secrets. Those are all secrets then.
But that's so childish. That's like, no, actually, I have a shield of invisibility, so actually whatever you do doesn't work.
Yeah. Like, you see off in the distance, this giant red dragon comes towards you, and then the player steps forward and goes, oh yeah, my pet dragon, I've left him up the mountain, here he is.
That might be enough.
Yeah, this is my secret, dude. This is my secret. Look, I wrote it down on a piece of paper here. It says I have a pet red dragon. There he is.
Well, I wrote it down on the sheet that you gave me, so I'm gonna do it. But I don't know how to do any checks, so it just is what it
is. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like animal handling because it's not an animal, it's a dragon, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll just have him obey my every order. It's
Let's
fine.
just hand wave it and it's mine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think that if you can show them what it looks like to other people, I think that might help. I just think that they don't have any awareness of how, like, what the, I guess, ritual of tabletop RPGs is.
And I also, on a slightly more serious note, one piece of advice that I might give is like, which I think is kind of what you were hitting at there, Eric, is just like try and like showcase what like a really good secret or a really good backstory looks like. You know what I mean? Like have a session which is all about like one player, and even say to the guys like, hey, this is like their session, or we're in like their story arc right now. So for the next 4 sessions, we're kind of focusing on them and their story, and you give them all the license to describe the village or the town that they come from, and you know, describe all of the people that they know from the town and all of the stuff that they, you know, have in the town and whatever, and all of that you're sort of kind of just saying, hey, look, this is really good. Look at all the stuff that they have and all this, enjoy how much fun they're having right now because they gave me like these little things. And I guarantee you, you know, if this person is invested and like enjoys playing D&D, they're going to be sat there going like, oh man, I want this. I want my own arc. And it's like, well, exactly. I can't give you your own arc if I don't know who you are. If you're an amorphous blob from, you know, I was about to joke and say from the planet Necron, but even if I knew you were from the planet Necron, I could do something about it. You know what I mean? I don't even know that much. So yeah, maybe showcase a really good backstory in Secret.
I think that's a very good idea. It's that's a very, you need to prove it to them first and be like, you don't get this because you haven't told me anything, so I can't help you. That's a super good idea.
So basically take the pie out of the oven, waft it under their nose, and then say you don't get this.
Yeah, it's like, well, you haven't given me a pie recipe, so I can't make you a pie. I can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You contributed nothing to this pie, so we're going to eat this pie, and you're going to sit there and watch us eat it.
Hey, Jasper, do you want to hear how we helped someone?
Yeah, please.
This is from Electronically Illiterate, who was asking us if they should get a Steam Deck. Do you remember that?
Ooh, yeah, let's go. Okay.
And basically, I think we came down on just do it, and I said that like having a powerful console that's also handheld is really good for feeling like an adult because of my experience with the Switch.
Yes, I remember.
Okay. Hi. Thanks so much for reading my question on the show. I was so excited to hear your thoughts. Wanted to update. I did get a Steam Deck and have been obsessively playing Baldur's Gate 3 on it.
Yes!
As someone who doesn't play video games often, this has been a game changer. Bang, yes.
Nice.
I love being able to sit next to my partner playing my game while he studies for his exams. I absolutely support Jasper also getting one.
Hey, honestly, as you said, Baldur's Gate 3, I have sat there countless times in the last few weeks being like, man, I'm on the sofa downstairs. I'm going to set the scene for you. I'm on the sofa downstairs. Eric will know exactly what I'm talking about because he's been on that sofa. Underneath, what am I underneath, Eric?
Oh, that weighted blanket, baby.
That weighted blanket, baby. Okay, and I'm watching something on TV, and I'm sitting there playing Magic the Gathering or something on my phone, and I'm thinking, damn, I would love to play some Baldur's Gate right now. But that's upstairs on my PC. It's my office chair is not the most comfortable because it's getting a little bit old.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just kind of wish I could just pull up Baldur's Gate and play it right here, but I also don't want to get it on the PS5 because I've already got it on my PC and I need to get a Steam Deck. I need to get a Steam Deck. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think that's something that we didn't explore, but another part of like adulting is like you need good back support and you can't always be sitting in an office chair, laying on your couch, playing, and you want to be playing your game. I think that's worth the amount of money because we have jobs. Let's spend it on things we need.
Fully. I've got a big job coming up at the moment, and I think if it pays off sweetly, I think I can imagine a Steam Deck being right up there as my little treat to myself. Be like, hey, dude, you know what? You deserve this.
Yeah.
You heckin' deserve this. So here you go.
After getting like 15 years of avocado toast rhetoric shoved down our throats that we're ruining our financial future by going to brunch, like people are allowed to buy luxuries, things that make them happy. Like good. I'm glad you spent your money on this.
15 years of avocado toast rhetoric is phenomenal.
Yeah, the Tories ran on that last election, right?
Oh man, it's so true, and it's also such crap.
100% true. Hey, it's Eric, and I just made some maple breakfast sausage. That's right, it's fall, and I made breakfast for dinner, so you're gonna eat it. Now, if you like me, Eric Silver, as a person, and you're also excited that you're getting a little crispy outside, please join the Patreon, patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. Obviously, it supports Multitude. It supports everything that we do here. We're able to pay me and Jasper and all of our wonderful guests, but Come on, just tell me you like me. Tell me you like me. You get ad-free episodes, you get Patreon exclusive replay episodes, and there's a special portal just for you for your Q&A episodes. It's all there, and of course, you get to hear your name all the time. Shout out to producer-level patrons Polly Burge, Kelsey Duffy, and Peyton, who would never raise prices on video game developers if they were in a position to raise prices on video game developers. We don't have time to talk about the Unity thing, but it's very similar to what happened to the OGL just in the beginning of the year, but for like indie video game people. They would never do this because they're great. So yeah, join the Patreon, patreon.com/gamesandfeelings. It's also a wonderful day to try another show from the Multitude Collective. It's getting cool, it's getting crispy, which means it's getting spooky, and that means you got to listen to Spirits, a history and comedy podcast focused on everything folklore, mythology, and the occult, led by Julia and Amanda, both people who've been on this show. They tell a story from a mythology and folklore over drinks every single week, everything from the mythological origins of Lord of the Rings and Wonder Woman to modern urban legends to a roundup of werewolf stories from around the world. There are 300 plus episodes they've released over 7 years. There's so much to enjoy. Just search your favorite monster. It's probably in there. Dive in at spiritspodcast.com or search for Spirits wherever you get your podcasts. We are sponsored by Elderwood Academy, a group of artists hand-making immersive and custom D&D accessories just for you. You might know them from their Hex Chest dice boxes or the Spell Gaming Box family. They're really cool. They send us a sample. There's the Spell box. You can kind of just like put little dice in and keep all of your stuff in it, and you feel like a little wizard. They've been at this since 2014, innovating creative and artistic gaming accessories, and they're here to support the community. All of their items have support for life, so you know you're getting something good when you're buying it. Use code FEELINGS to get 10% off at elderwoodacademy.com. Get that sale too. Tell them we sent you. Use code FEELINGS for 10% off at elderwoodacademy.com. And now, back to the show. All right,
okay,
I have another.
Let's go.
Yeah, I have another update for you, but we're gonna do another question first. I really like this one. This is from Best Player 2. I'm co-best manning my friend's wedding. I don't know what that means, other than his request to have a bachelor party game night.
Oof, fun.
The other best man and I agreed on running a King of Games tournament for the occasion with a knockoff WWE belt on the line.
Yes! Oh! Can I come? Can we get 2 tickets? Me and Eric will be there.
Oh, Jasper,
okay?
hold on a second.
Oh, no, okay, I've got to I'm sorry.
My friend loves the idea, even though he's not the best at competitive games. What advice do you have making and running a best at games style tournament? How can we make sure my friend gets a prize to remember the event with, even though we're going to demolish him in the tournament, without it feeling like a cheap participation trophy? Would you and Jasper like to fly to Arizona in the summer to compete?
Yes, I do. Yes, I'll fucking be there. I'm not even joking. I'll be there for this. Like, I'm ready.
Can I say?
I'm ready, and I'm gonna beat all your asses.
Honestly,
I'm gonna win
same.
that belt.
Absolutely same. I want to do this so much. This is kind of just like a stag party fact for you. Arizona is becoming like a new stag destination, hen-do and stag party destination.
Okay, that is really interesting.
I think it's because like it's, you know, people like going to the Southwest. You can go outside if you want. There's a lot of space, blah, blah, blah. And like, so you can get like a ton of stuff on Airbnb for it. So I just think it's also the fact that it's like in Arizona. I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. I like that.
Nice. Okay. They're nailing it. Okay, cool. So we're going to be there. So this is exciting.
Jasper, actually, I can speak to this directly. This was my bachelor party.
You did the same. You did the same thing.
My best person, Hetty, ended up putting together a tournament of games for me, which I didn't even know was happening. It was totally a surprise.
Incredible. Okay, well then you jump in. Like, what worked? What didn't work? What notes would you have for your best person? No, but like, yeah. What? Like, tell us firsthand. Let's go.
It was really, really fun. I think that what you need to do is you need to give out random bonus points for other things that are not games. I think that that's also part of it. Is like, so something that she did was that she gave me a D20 and I could roll it at any time, and then we would check on like a list of dares to do that we would just have to do throughout the entire thing. So
we did the same on mine. It was very fun. Mine was slightly slightly different in the sense that, well, I did have a D20, but then I was also dressed as a referee because I enjoy football, and I could give out yellow and red cards if people didn't do the things that I asked them to do.
Yes.
And so, like, I think that felt like a really big, fun, like, trophy for me, like, empowering me to almost, like, my instinct is like, empower this person to be like the DM of these games or something. You know what I mean? Because like that, I think would be very fun for them.
They don't have to win. You're the guy who's getting married doesn't have to win. I think he's just going to be happy that it's happening. Like having someone plan something for you. To me, and maybe this is my love language or whatever the fuck. Like, that feels so nice that I don't have to do it. He's just going to want to commemorate it. Get him a belt that has a secret belt or trophy that has nothing to do with the competition. Being like, this is your bachelor party belt. Like, here you go. And I think that he'll just like that he has something to commemorate it for. But yeah, make sure he can participate, but the competition, I agree with you, the competition is not really for him. It is for everyone else to compete for his favor.
Can I throw in a suggestion here?
Please.
So my suggestion might even be, right, that he can obviously participate in these games, and look, hey, if it truly is that he is just like nowhere near as actually good as you guys, and there is actually zero chance of you winning, then my suggestion would be make this man the Roman emperor, okay? Let him adjudicate on these games, and let him throw in obstacles just for funsies. Like, he can just say, hey, next 10 seconds, left hand behind your back, go. Like, whatever the game is, you've now got to play. One dude has got to play it with one hand behind his back.
Awesome.
Or something, like, he can have a roll table. You can do it however you want to, like, whatever flavor of the, if it's like a sports thing is like the vibe, or if it's, like if it's Mario, then you could do like a Wario Party style thing where it's like, oh, you have to play the game, but whatever you're playing, you have to do it all with your head now, because that's the sort of stuff they do in Wario Party or whatever. Like, I think there's a way that you could flavor him doling out these like little, not like punishments, but like little kind of like obstacles and whatever. And at the end of the game, he can just decide who gets the most points, because maybe it's like, oh, well, okay, objectively you won the game, but you put in like a really good performance and you did the whole thing with like playing with your nose. So I'm going to give you a bonus point, or do you know what I mean? Whatever it is. I feel like that would not only be more fun than a participation trophy, but would also yield the silliest results, which is ultimately what you want for the vibe of the party, right? You want like, what's like the silliest, most fun we can have in like this allotted period of time, and especially if your dude's having a drink, the wheels are going to come off and it's going to be hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I was chasing people down the street in my bachelor party trying to give them a red card, and they were literally running out of the bar because they knew they'd have to do another shot if I gave it to them. So they just ran away from me, and it was incredible.
Yeah, give him a coupon book. Like, it'd be like, hey, so because you're the bachelor, you can give people these hazards whenever you want. What I'm just trying to frame, though, I'm not saying it's a participation trophy. I don't think anyone will think it is, because the party's already for him. Like, it is in his honor. Yes, he is the king. He's the Roman emperor. Like, the king doesn't come down and play in the joust, He can still compete for sure, because he loves games and that's what he wants. I don't even think that anyone is going to think, I don't even think that that's a problem. The question asked by the question asker, I don't even think is necessarily an issue.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And I think what is wonderful about whenever we get questions like these, I love it so much, because I always think to myself, like, look, you've already nailed it. The fact that you're this aware and conscious enough to like reach out to a podcast for advice, or like even just write this down and think about this, you're already gonna make this such an amazing experience for this guy. So like, I would say whatever your worries are, like, already know that you're nailing it, and anything you do from this point is gonna be icing on the cake. Like, this guy is gonna have an incredible time. So will we. So excited to come. We will be there. Arizona, baby. Let's go.
It's also already in the question. He wants a game night. He loves the idea. You're telling us he's bad at games. Like, that is you're writing in to tell us, hey, this guy getting married sucks at games. We're putting something on for him, but he fucking blows. Like, what do you want us to do about it? I'm sorry.
The funniest thing about this is the fact that is pretty much the most important part of this message is that your friend sucks at games, and that he sucks that badly that you had to. Do you know what? As another part of this, like, send him my way. I'll give him a 1-to-1 on a game. Pick a game. I'll give him a 1-to-1 lesson. We'll get him better at it so he can win at least one of these games. Like, put him through boot camp or something. Like, he's got to get good at one of these games. Okay,
oh my God.
like. You know, like Rocket League or something. I don't know, anything. Just pick something where it's like, look, just play this for 2 hours a day until your bachelor party. Don't worry, your fiance, yeah, fine. She'll be annoyed about it, but just play this game for at least 2 hours a day and get good at it so you can win at least one of these games.
Yeah. God, so funny.
So funny.
This best player too is really roasting their bachelor friend. It's so funny.
I'm a big fan of this energy. And I think this bachelor party is going to be incredible. Are you excited to go, Eric? Are you really? Are you buzzing?
Our Arizona's pretty hot in the summer, but it's a dry heat. So I think we'll sweat it out and we'll be able to
perfect for a nice beer, like a nice stout maybe. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
No,
Jasper, it's going to be like 40 degrees.
Woo! Arizona's a desert, right?
Arizona's in the desert. Yes.
Right. Okay. Cool.
40 degrees Celsius, my friend. It is.
Okay. Let's give me a crisp lager then. In which case, give me a crisp lager.
Jumping into a pool perpetually is going to be great.
Yes.
I think it's also worthwhile to do games like, if you have a pool, do a cannonball contest or something. Don't just do, do all types of games and stuff. Or subjective ones, like where someone gets judged instead of like it being straight competitive.
Yeah, like embarrassing yourself in public or
that could be a game, 100%. Or
or a forfeit.
Yeah. Who orders the worst thing for breakfast at the diner you all go to?
Oh, and you've got to eat it as well.
And then you have to eat it, yeah.
Oh, rough. Like, you've got to get, like, when you're hungover, you've got to order a pizza and dunk it in milkshake or something and eat the whole thing like that.
You have to order
and then
the worst...
drink the milkshake afterwards.
Yeah. Order the worst thing for breakfast for under $20 and then eat at least 50% of it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to pay for all of this disgusting food.
Yeah, and whoever got the best meal has to pay for everything, 100%.
Yeah.
That's very funny. I'm loving this. This is going to be so good. Jasper, you want to hear about an update from someone else who wrote in?
Yes, please. Oh, I did just realize, however, that we are going to be at that bachelor party, so I might just don't do the thing about the food. I said I don't do because I don't want to do that. So
Jasper, can you bring Marmite over for the bachelor party?
Yeah, but I cannot and will not drink it.
Fine.
Or eat it, or whatever it is. Yeah, updates. Let's go.
Jasper, do you remember the question about the barbarian who had another player hit them in order to keep their rage going?
Yes. I remember this very well. Okay.
As if you remember, the DM hated it, the players thought it was funny, and that created a bunch of tension. So here's the update to that. Turns out we were all reading the rules wrong. I didn't need to land the attack, just make it, so it's less of a problem. Turns out the game is actually kind of balanced when you play it as intended.
That is absolutely and utterly hilarious. Is that true? That you just have to attempt to make an attack?
Yeah. I guess I didn't even think that you need to do an attack instead of hitting.
No, I thought you had to deal damage or take damage. I thought that was the rules as wrote. If that's the case, I've been playing it wrong this whole time.
Here, let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Jeez, I should go write for Polygon or something.
Stop. We are not talking about that article on this episode. That article came out like 3 weeks ago. We cannot talk about it. Okay, let me look at Rage, because I think we talked about it.
Yeah, I think we did, but I swear it's dealing and taking damage. If it's just making an attack...
Yes, it ends, your rage lasts for 1 minute, it ends early if you're knocked unconscious, or your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage. So I think it's just about swinging.
Oh, so you just gotta swing for the fences.
That makes sense, though. They're like, you have to be fighting the whole time. It doesn't matter if you hit something, it's about intention.
I don't know, I feel like it's pretty deflating if you whiff. Like, if you just, like, fully whiff and don't do any kind of damage, and then, like, you know what I mean? Like, that might be...
It's more about, I think, engaging in combat. Something I've been thinking a lot about is that I saw that, like, someone tweeted like D&D 5th edition is a mech game because you have sets of fighting controls and you have sets of interactive controls when you're outside of fighting, much like if you're in a mech. And I'm like, oh, that's the smartest thing I've ever heard.
That's smart.
So it's more about like participating in violence or in that your choice is violence is kind of what they're trying, the intention behind the thing, which I think is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Well, in which case, yeah, absolutely right. In which case, not an issue. Stop hitting each other.
But also, I mean, the question asker makes a good point. Fights go so much more smoothly because, again, if you need to do or take damage the whole time, then you'd have to find these exploits. It's more about I'm engaging in fighting for a full minute, which makes sense with Rage.
I would, okay, so just a little bit of follow-up advice then would be, may I request that you spend a little bit of time, ask your DM, obviously, but spend a little bit of time, maybe like 2 sessions or so, just shopping around for a foam hammer. And then that way, should there be no enemies that you can actually feasibly attack, but you want to keep it going, you can just take out the foam hammer and attack your friends with the foam hammer.
I like that you're just reverse.
I think your DM would really appreciate that.
You're just reversing the loophole. You're just turning it. You're just like turning it around. The loophole still exists.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They get to attack their friends, but it just won't do any damage to their friends because it's a foam hammer. But you can put, your whole weight into it. Like, it's fine.
It's wild how much this just gets resolved by rereading the rules. Like, go read. Everyone learn to read.
Guys, I don't want to tell you, we're actually going to stop doing Games and Feelings. This is the very last episode because we've realized that all you need to do is just reread the rules.
Be nice to your friends, have fun, and read the rules. That's it.
And read it. That's it. Done. That's all the advice you're ever going to get from us. It's going to fall into one of those 3 categories.
Yeah. They did add an extra paragraph saying that question asker's character and one other character are very silly TM, and since canonically my character has yelled to be punched, I like that they kept the thing canonically in world, even though it was a loophole. They think that this is how I want to be shown affection and punch me semi-regularly because they care. I return the affection by chasing them with body parts of fallen foes after a battle, or trying to convince them that I became a werewolf/zombie, etc. after fighting very normal wolves or any type of undead. Everyone in the group, including the DM, thinks this is very funny.
That's actually really, do you know what? That doesn't happen enough, that you make characters that are just straight up jokers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even in, comedy forward podcasts, I feel like it's still rare that you make a character that is just a straight up dingus. You know what I mean? Who's just the big battles just happened, and then my guy's over there puppeting the Lich, being like, oh, look at me, I'm a Lich. You know what I mean? I just, more of that energy, please.
I kind of like that. I think that the Marvel movie comedy, the quippiness has jumped ahead of that. And then when we get something like Deadpool, it's so overt and stupid and fourth wall breaking that you can't. This was something. The first rule we had for Join the Party is that jokes needed to be in worlds. We couldn't just make references, right? And this was all the way back in 2017. And I think that's kind of nice. I want that. I want a character to make jokes in world for everyone to laugh at, both player and character. I think that's pretty funny. I like that.
Absolutely. Big fan of that. The next character I play, the next big thing that I get, I'm gonna pick a character who is just obscenely silly. I did actually, to be fair, this is a fun story. I did do this once. You can go and check this out. It's over on the Hero Forge channel. I had an absolute blast, but I definitely felt like this was maybe a time where I may have not got the memo entirely because everyone else came up with some really heartfelt backstories, and I was playing a Lich who was trying to reform and really loved his plants. And it was the silliest character I think I've ever played. And I was in you can see my face. There's people having really heartfelt one-to-one backstory chats, and literally I'm there talking to my skeleton called Paul Jr. and I'm sat there yes, I need to water my peace lily. It's helping me forgive the sins of my past where I caused genocide in 4 different planets.
That's what you're supposed to do for a one-shot. What, you're gonna make a hard backstory for a one-shot?
That's what I thought, but it wasn't the case. But it was very fun, and I enjoyed it. So go check out Paul and his Peace Lily.
I love that. I think that's very funny.
Do we have another one?
Yeah, I got another. Let's do one more question.
Yeah.
I have a question that I've been sitting on for a little while because what they're posing.
Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it's pretty comfy. It supports my back, which is why I need it.
Hey, that's what you need. That's what you need.
The question is crazy. The situation this person has put themselves in is ridiculous, and I think it's ridiculous. However, they seem to be chill with it. So I don't even know. So the question is hard. The answer is going to be, all right, good for. I'm glad you're enjoying this, right?
Okay, I'm not gonna find this ridiculous. I'm gonna react to this as earnestly as I possibly can, and not think this is ridiculous. I'm gonna be like, imagine I was in this position and that I was also okay with it.
Okay,
let's go.
This is from Went Too Big, Might Go Home, but just not yet.
It's already hard. This is already hard. This is a great name. It's a great name.
Hi, is a 12-person Dungeons and Dragons campaign too big? Do you have any tips for how to manage a large party playing D&D? Have I bitten off more than I can chew? Maybe, but I love a good challenge. It's a mix of family members and friends, ages 12 to in their 40s. I've been a player in a couple campaigns before with small groups, but this is my first time DMing. This campaign is the first time the squad has played together, and most of the players are new to D&D. So far, everyone says they're having a good time and they keep showing up every week. I'll take that as a win. And I'm genuinely having fun, but I don't want to get burned out. Obviously, rolling initiative is vital and keeping track of a large group, but I'm worried that only doing battles will be repetitive and boring. Lots of puzzles I find online involve only 1 to 4 players at a time. Do you have any suggestions for where to find other game mechanics that involve everyone without folks getting lost in the sauce? I use a timer so decisions are made quicker and can make up edit plot points on the fly, but this gets tiring. I'm open to any recommendations. Thank you for your time and thoughts. I love the show and your energy. What the fuck did you get yourself into?
Wow.
You're like leading. Okay. You're like leading a math class every time you play Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow. It's like maths and RE. If you have RE, do you have RE in America?
What's that?
Religious studies. It's it's kind of like humanities. It's like talking about like governing and
we call that social studies.
Yeah, of course. It's like social studies and maths. You're doing a combination of those two classes.
You're leading a middle school class right now at like a good school.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I do have a very earnest piece of advice, though, which I think might actually solve a lot of problems.
Sure.
Split this party in half. I don't mean leave 6 people out. I mean, in the very first time I ever played D&D, it was run by the aforementioned Jeremy Cobb, because he had basically just started playing Dungeons & Dragons, and he wanted to play some more of it. We were in this podunk town in the south of England. There was nothing to do. There was like a leisure centre and like a big shop. That was basically all there was, and then like the theatre that we were performing in. And so he suggested us playing D&D, and because everyone was so bored, like the whole cast and crew put their hand up and said, yes, we want to play.
Jesus.
And he was like, oh, yikes. Because it was like 11 people or something. But what we would do, and it was so much fun, is that basically we would alternate sessions between 2 different groups. But what we would do is everyone would still come and sit and like participate, kind of, either just be in the background, just like chilling out, hanging out, like half listening, half paying, paying attention, whatever it may be. Because it also then meant, like, if something in particular happened, then maybe there was a chance for, like, one of your characters to, like, jump in and help the other party out and meet the other party, and then one of that party might leave and go somewhere else, and they'd hook up with the other party. And so it was a really, really fun kind of, like, shared world thing that was happening. It really made the group that wasn't playing feel like, oh, there's so many more secrets and stuff to find, which is really cool. And then we ended up at one point like following the other group and like trace, like, kind of like we'd go through and be like, what happened here? And there was just all these like dead goblins on the floor, and we'd be like, whoa, something horrible must have come through this way, and it was just the other adventuring party. And so that worked really well. And then we basically built up to a boss, like one big boss fight against an elder brain, which then required like all of us. But then what was also really clever about that is that Jeremy put in a bunch of stuff that would like effectively like not take them out in an unsatisfying way, but basically like eliminate certain players because they were failing roles and stuff. So by the end, it felt like a scrap because it was like there was 2 of us left. You know what I mean? To like deal the killing. Like we went from 11 players and we were all like, everyone was dropping like flies and we were like, oh my God. It was like, so it really built up to something so epic and amazing, but at no point felt like a big math class or anything like that. So I would honestly, genuinely say, find a situation or a reason during the next session or 2 for the group to have to go off and do 2 different tasks simultaneously, and then literally alternate sessions and say, hey, look, everyone's allowed to come watch the other games and everything like that. And it will be kind of fun because they'll get to see more of this expanded world that you've probably already made in a infinitely more manageable way than what you're currently doing, because what you're currently doing I don't think is entirely feasible, or it's certainly not over a long term either, and I think this way is much more manageable.
This is too many players to play this game. I think that we end up running into these situations a lot when we kind of are pushing against the bounds of what Dungeons & Dragons was made for. Like, Dungeons & Dragons was optimized to have a balance of role-playing and combat with parties in between from 3 to 6. Really 3 to 5, but 6 is also possible. So you're really pushing the bounds of what this game can do. I say this all the time. If you want to do something else, don't do Dungeons & Dragons. Maybe you need to do something that's a little more participatory. This feels like a perfect amount of people for LARPing and for for it to be a little bit more like true role-playing, that things are happening all at the same time, but I don't think Dungeons & Dragons is the thing to do. I like what you're suggesting, though, Jasper, of splitting the party into 2. They do this on Friends at the Table all the time, where, like, different players play at all times. I just don't think all of you can do it at the same time. You just have the opposite problem of what everyone has, which is no one wants to play with me and it's hard to schedule, and someone's not having fun. Like,
which is why I don't want to advise them to do something else. So I'm like, no, this is great. Like, I'm so happy for you that this is happening. You know what I mean? Because it's so freaking rare that this ever happens. Yeah. So, I think that would be my feeling. And also, you could find other ways to incorporate the 6 players that aren't playing. You could say to one of the younger players, like, hey, do you want to come and be a fun little NPC for me? This is the information you need to give them. You know what I mean? Or to someone else, you'd be like, hey, do you want to come up with an encounter for the next session, and I'll run that encounter, and just because it's fun and it gives them a bit of an investment, and also it kind of eases the burden on you a little bit as the DM to have to generate all this stuff. If you kind of say hey guys, so for the next session, when you have one group, sit them down and be like, okay, so for the next session I want to throw something really big at the other team. What should I throw at them? You know what I mean? That would be really fun. I feel like I would really enjoy that, and not only then, it would be really fun talking to the group and be like, you had to fight the pit fiend because that was our suggestion. That's funny.
Yes, so, I think what I'm more saying is the reason why you can't find anything and why initiative's taking forever is because you are pushing against the bounds of what this thing can do.
Absolutely.
I made a suggestion to someone over on the Join the Party Patreon who was running a D&D club and was trying to figure out a way similar to how do you have 12 people have fun at the same time? And what I came up with was what if there was a cosmic tournament where teams of adventurers did the same thing at the same time in parallel universes and then competed against each other of how they did it the best. So I think what would be interesting is okay, you are now you need to come up with how you're going to do this, and we're going to play it for 5 minutes, and whoever gets the best gets 3 points, whoever does the second best gets 2 points, and whoever does the worst gets 1 point. And then you run through a bunch of those situations and then figure out a way to make your inter-party competition. Could be really fun. Yeah, it is high concept, but that's the only way to kind of justify it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that would work. That's what I mean. And but even if you do split the party, there's then ways to you could do stuff like that to then bring the party back together for a session or 2 with some sort of big sort of set piecey, show piecey type moment as well. And I think that also because the other thing that I would worry for, and it's not even worry for you, it's just worry for the players, is it's going to be hard to give players an individual moment or a session or whatever, or something that really feels like it's for them and really empowering for them. And I really do feel like that's a big big part of why people love TTRPGs and Dungeons and Dragons in general, is because it gives you those moments of like, oh, I did it. Like, I had a real like heroic moment, and I wouldn't, and it's going to be impossible for you to track, has everyone had like a heroic moment when you're, just trying to do initiative for 12 people plus, and I'm assuming that you're going to have to be throwing at least 6 to 7 plus enemies.
Yeah, of
you know
course.
what I mean? Plus a big bad, just to make combats even vaguely balanced.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And also just maybe get more au fait with killing party members and just being like, I think that's like, I'm genuinely being serious. Like, I honestly think like when you have that many people, I think one way that you could really drive engagement is be like, look, you guys can all die.
Yeah.
Like 100%, you can all die. You'll come back with a new character next session, but this character, they could die.
That's cool.
Like, I think it's so much more feasible with like 12 players because I think it would just feel a little bit more natural, but also would definitely spur me on were I one of 12. Be like, okay, we have to work together as a team because there's like internet devourers and, do you know what I mean? All kinds of things, or what are they called? Whites, I think, that have the scream ability that just reduces you to 0 hit points. Just throw like 6 of them. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
It's great.
Oh, I'm having a brain blast for something really dumb. Wouldn't it be funny if you gave whiteboards, little mini whiteboards, to every one of your players, and they all acted at the same time? Wouldn't that be crazy? And they have to hide it from each other. So you all do your things, your actions simultaneously, and you can't talk to each other unless because it's like the heat of battle, right? So if you end up organizing something together, you had to have planned it ahead of time. So you all have to do something.
Or you have to be on the same initiative. And if you roll the exact same initiative, maybe you could sit next to each other and you can
Or no, you don't even do initiative. It's all of the players act at the same time, and you all need to write your actions down on a whiteboard, and then you do it at the same time, and then that's how you start killing people. Because if someone is doing something that is ill-advised, then they're going to get targeted on by the massive enemies that are bearing down on you. Like, imagine it's like, I swing my sword, and then it's like, the dragon eats you. It's like, yeah, because I'm doing it, you made your move, and now I'm making my move. Like, think about doing this like it's an action movie, or like a Fire Emblem, in a Fire Emblem style RPG.
You charge in there as the wizard centers fireball on 6 of the party members.
Exactly, yeah. If you can also do friendly fire, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that could be really fun if all of you had if all of you did stuff at the same time.
That'd be very fun. That'd be very fun.
Dwarf Spur, I think we helped. Were we helpful?
I think we helped. I think we're pretty helpful. I think we're helpful people.
I'm trying. I think we were helpful. I think it was good.
I think
we got invited to Arizona, which is pretty cool.
I'm so excited to go to Arizona. When is it? What are the dates?
I think it's next. It seems like it's next summer.
Next summer? Okay, cool. Are we talking like June, July, August?
That's all the information I have. That's all the information I have, unfortunately.
Okay. Cool. It's fine. Just in your own time, send us through all the deets. We'll book flights and everything like that. Let us know if you need us to go Dutch on the old Airbnb. We can do that. We'll bring some brewskis. We can arrange all of that stuff.
We will not be sleeping at your Airbnb. We will be at a different Airbnb.
No. We're in the Airbnb, Eric. We're getting the authentic experience.
All right, I'm getting a bed. I need a bed.
No, you will be sharing a bed with 2 other dudes from this stag do, and you'll lump it, okay? Because not everyone can afford the Airbnb that we can, and I'm not going to be those people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be those people who's like, oh, nah, we're not going to do... I've got money, so I'm going to go and stay at a fancy Airbnb down the road. No, Eric.
Oh, yeah, I'm so loaded from being podcast rich.
Honestly, I met Eric recently, and I can only tell you, it's impressive. He actually puts loads of, like, cloth around his neck to hide all of the jangly chains that he has on, because this dude is loaded. He was there flashing credit cards and debit cards, and like, they were all, like, metal.
Debit cards?
and debit cards. And he had all these loyalty cards for different shops, but they were like black ones, so that meant that all the stuff he got from those shops are free just because he's such a big deal.
Yeah, I went into the whiskey store. I went to the whiskey store, and they're, oh my God, Mr. Silver, I didn't know that you were coming. Oh my God.
I didn't know that you were here. I didn't know you. I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were coming. I would have made up the red carpet for you, sir.
Like,
that's what they actually said.
Like 10 months from now, there's a different advice podcast or an advice column that's like, hi, so my friend threw a bachelor party for me, and he invited 2 podcasters who showed up and were really, really weird the entire time.
They really made it all about them. They kind of acted like it was their bachelor party, and like they got belts. They got WWE belts for like just being there, and like they kept insisting that we eat bad food.
They kept insisting we play Super Smash Bros. And FIFA over and over so they would win.
But they already had 2 belts for just being there, so I'm sort of slightly confused as to how or why.
I want to be mad at my best man, but he says he didn't think they would come to Arizona. I have conflicted feelings, and my wedding is 2 months away. What do I do?
They're also now coming to my wedding, and I really want to be able to uninvite them, but I don't know how. Even my wife's really excited about them coming, and so it feels like a hard sell to uninvite them at this point.
They kept plugging their podcast.
They said they're going to do a speech, which is just going to be an episode of their show, Games and Feelings.
They said, oh my God, so excited. We can do a Games and Feelings live show at your wedding.
Show at your wedding?
And I don't like that. What do I do?
My wife's already signed up to be the special guest for that episode.
Oh my God.
Hi, sorry to bother you again, it's me. These 2 podcasters, my wife's now made them godparents to our child. Is there anything I can do to stop this from happening from a legal standpoint?
They keep recording cameos with my new baby. How do I get them to stop? And now they're planning Bachelor Party 2 back in Arizona, but it's not.
Yep.
Again, you can't have a second bachelor party, so it's mostly for them. What do I do?
Yeah, and I'm not even invited. It feels weird.
Yeah, they said your friend said you were terrible at games, so you can't come.
But they have got a cardboard cutout of me that they're going to carry around with them.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, I think we managed to just get ourselves uninvited from the bachelor party in Arizona.
Jasper, I'm like we're in a plane that's crashing, and I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to pull up and get out of the dive.
And I'm on the wings, just trying to yeet this wing off a little more. Like it looks like it'll come if I just pull it a little harder.
You're the monster on the wing from the Twilight Zone
Yeah.
that no one can see, but except for one guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the one in The Simpsons. That's,
Yes, exactly.
That's the reference that I have.
Yeah, there
is
you go,
The
there you
Simpsons,
go.
When The Simpsons did it. Yeah.
Jasper, you're great. Where can people find you on the internet?
Well, I tell you where they can find me in Arizona next summer. Am I right?
If you're in San Francisco in a few weeks at the end of September, come see us at Big Bad Con. We're going to do this in person. Enjoy this in person.
Please, I'm gonna be. Oh, okay, right. Back in the game. I'm gonna be at Insomnia, which is the UK video game and sort of gaming generally convention. I'm doing a live D&D show there, but it's not like a sit-down actual play show. It's that we play characters and we roll a big foam d20 and that we kind of act stuff out on stage and the audience gives us cues and it's very, very fun. So that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna be at Big Bad Con. I'm gonna be at EGX. I'm gonna be at Dragon Meet. I'm doing loads of conventions this year, which is very, very exciting. If you want to get all the details for all of that stuff or get in touch with me, etc., you can do at JW_Cartwright on all of my social medias. Check out 3 Black Halflings. Oh, we just launched our Patreon. We've got a bunch of new cool stuff on our Patreon.
Hell yeah.
Including a £500 a month tier. Because that was we joked about doing it, and then people were like, "Yeah, you should do it." And I'm like, I don't think any of you are going to sign up, but okay.
It's there to make the other tiers look better, Jasper. That's what it's there for.
There we go. That wasn't even. I'm nervous about post. I'm like, people are not going to get that this is a joke.
No. It's a consumer thing. You put it there. If someone does it, then it's awesome. But it makes everything else look more affordable.
Look how cheap.
Yeah.
Look how cheap this tier is. $10 tier is, because look, the other one is $500.
Yeah, exactly.
Which actually is like it's £500. So it's probably like $600. Like crazy. It's a lot of money. Actually, no.
I mean, that's hilarious. It's still funny. Yeah, you can you can just keep listening to us do this. Come to Big Bad Con, and listen to my other shows. Join the party and tell me about it. By the time this episode comes out,
we'll be in Arizona, baby. I'm sorry.
We'll be in Arizona.
Mischa,
we will have recorded an episode. We will record an episode of Tell Me About It with Jasper. That's going to happen. But Brendan Lee Mulligan's going to be on the show, and that episode's already out. I'm very excited.
Okay, you've got a second tier guest coming up right before the first tier guest, me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's
Brennan is laying the groundwork for you, 100%.
Yeah. Just so that, like, laying that runway so that my private jet can land. You know what I mean? That's what Brennan's doing. So thank you. Thanks, Brennan. Appreciate that, buddy. I'll see you soon. I'm hoping to go for dinner with Brennan soon, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah, that'll be good. I'll be there. I'll be standing there. I'll be your waiter. I won't be invited, but I'll serve you bread.
Hey, can I have some bread, please? Can I get some bread and oil, please?
Oh, hey, what's up? I work here for the time being. Hey.
Oh, yeah, good. Do you want to come to a bachelor party with me and my buddy in Arizona? I'm kind of inviting everyone, so.
And yeah, follow me on Twitter at L_Silvero and on TikTok, Eric the Silver. It's very fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
Just so you know, that's his name if he was a lucha libre.
It is. And my name, if I had it was my middle name. Hey, Jasper, thanks as always for doing this. This was very fun. And remember, I'm going to see you in Arizona, buddy.
Yeah!
Games and Feelings is produced by Eric Silver and edited and mixed by Mischa Stanton. The theme music is Return to French Toast Castle by Jeff Bryce, and the art was created by Jessica Boyd. Find transcripts for this episode and all episodes at our website, gamesandfeelings.com. Until next time, press X to enjoy the podcast.